from Georgia, Republican Congressman Buddy Carter. Congressman, let me start with the president. What damage is he doing to people and the small businesses in Georgia?
He's doing irreparable damage. Let me tell you, he just does not get it. He does not understand that these are people's livelihoods here. I just want to take the opportunity to thank Joe Biden, to thank Stacey Abrams, and to thank Raphael Warnock for taking this away from the state of Georgia. You should be congratulated, and you have achieved what you set out to achieve, taking money out of the pockets of small business people, many of them minority business people. You should be ashamed of what you've done here. And the president of the United States, who sits back and does nothing with communist China when they are violating human rights over there. But you ask him about the Beijing and the 2022 Olympics, no comment whatsoever. Yet he wants to penalize his own states. That is irresponsible, and it's just despicable.
Well, and his race baiting is in some could argue is getting out of control. I mean, to call this new law Jim Crow on steroids, we should be specific what Jim Crow was. Jim Crow was codifying racism throughout the South in a period right before the civil rights legislation of the 1960s. It essentially legalized segregation based on races. As far as, I mean, to say Jim Crow alone, let alone to say Jim Crow on steroids, is race baiting, and it certainly is not unifying the nation, is it?
Oh, no. And this is the same president who, during his inauguration speech, said that he was going to unify this country. Well, guess what? Doing just the opposite. I mean, to compare election integrity with Jim Crow is apples and oranges. I mean, this is nothing. And it goes past that. It is indeed race baiting, and it is indeed misinforming and intentionally lying about what 75% of Americans said that they wanted, and that was election integrity. 60% of Democrats, 69% of African Americans said, yes, we need more election integrity. I applaud the Georgia legislature for what they did. They had the courage and the responsibility to do their job, and they did just that. And as a result, we've got election integrity in the state of Georgia. We've got secure elections, and we have confidence in our elections now.
Let's talk specifically about the MLB and their decision to pull the All-Star game out of Georgia. Former baseball commissioner Fay Vincent just wrote an article in the Wall Street Journal in which he criticized current Commissioner Manfred's decision. He said Major League Baseball can't become a weapon in the culture wars, a hostage for one political party or ideology. Baseball must always stand above politics and its dark elements of corruption, greed, and sordid selfishness. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, absolutely. And I thank Commissioner Vincent for what he has said there, and I think it makes perfect sense. You know, we love baseball in the state of Georgia. We love the Braves. I'm a lifelong Braves fan. But let me tell you, more than just baseball, we love free and fair elections, and that's what we've got now. And I thank the legislature for doing their job and doing just that. Baseball, this is just pathetic what they have done. And all the while, the commissioner of baseball in New York State, where if you compare the voting process in New York to Georgia, you find that we have much better voting regulations in the state of Georgia than they do in New York. It's just ridiculous.
Congressman, I want to switch gears on another subject. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg earlier suggesting that it doesn't matter if Biden's $2.25 trillion infrastructure plan actually lacks a lot of infrastructure. Listen.
I can't imagine why somebody would say, well, yes, I'm for broadband. We should definitely have rural broadband, but I'm going to vote against it because I don't think it meets the traditional definition of infrastructure. If it's a good policy, vote for it and call it whatever you like.
What do you make of that, Congressman?
Yeah, infrastructure package should not include infrastructure. Less than 5% of this is going toward bridges and roads. Are you kidding me? I think it's ridiculous. This is a total waste here. All this is the Democrats trying to advance their Green New Deal agenda. Look, we do need infrastructure in this country. We need a good infrastructure bill. 25, maybe 30% of this bill is needed and makes perfect sense. But the rest of it is a total waste and is nothing more than them trying to advance their Green New Deal agenda.
Congressman Carter, good to see you. Thank you very much for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, the administration